Hello, hello, all my nerds out there. We are back with another episode of Late to the Party, and we are...
Video Nerds.
I'm the ManNerd, and I am here with the spectacularly shreddy StephenShred.
Adding on to my name now.
Yep, I have to. You're doing it to me.
True. Yep, well, that is me.
All right, so today we are doing a couple picks that we did for each other, and I got to watch Deathnote, the anime series, just the first episode, and I told StephenShred to watch. Go for it, announce it, man.
The Adventures of Brisco County Jr.
Which most people probably haven't heard of that, so we'll get into that later. Did you even hear of it?
I had never heard of it ever.
All right, so I'm gonna jump into Deathnote, man.
All right,
because that one was a lot of fun. First off, a kid finds a book, and in that book, it tells you can write somebody's name, and they will die within a certain amount of time, and you can write the details of their death if you want to, and if you don't, it looks like a heart attack. So you think that there's going to be this whole moral dilemma, which there kind of is a little bit, but then the demon shows up to talk to this kid and finds out this kid's a freaking maniac and wants to rule the world. So yeah, that's the first episode there. He killed a shit ton of people within a few days of having the book and really doesn't have any regret. So wherever this show's going to go, I have no freaking idea. So that is my review on that. That's a D20, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, how can you expand on my viewpoint of this? Just my viewpoint, the first episode, in the whole thing.
Man, just Light is such a good character because this idea that he is like top of his class, he is like the guy. So it's like he has the intelligence to like manipulate almost himself into justifying what he's doing. And it's just such like a good setup to where it's like Ryuk, the Shinigami, just wants to like do something because he's bored, and then he just runs across Light, who is just like, I can make the world a better place. A lot of people need to die, but that's okay. And it's just, as the show goes on, man, it's just this constant thing of literally that just carries on. Just the idea of, yeah, more people need to die, but it's okay. It's like he's so good at manipulating and just talking himself into things and talking others into things that it's just, he just justifies it. So you constantly get the thing. It's like, am I rooting for the villain here? Or is he actually doing good? And that is the constant question you have throughout the series. And it just makes it so much fun to watch.
That really messed with me because I saw that the live action movie, which is not even close to this. Even the first episode, it's like the characters are completely different. The whole vibe's different. So it's like, So this really messed with my head.
Yep. The moment that Light meets Ryuk in the anime, he's like, so Shinigami are real then, I guess. So I guess that means that everything in the book is real. And then in the movie, he's screaming his head off and crying and freaking out. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, it was so bad. The movie's terrible. Like, if I see any of the actors from the movie in anything, I'm like, nope, not watching it. Like, I cannot remember the one who plays L's name. He pops up in so much stuff, though. And every time I see him, I'm just like, nope, ruined L, not watching.
Damn.
Yeah. And then the main guy doesn't really pop up in anything that I would watch anyways. So, like the main guy that played at L, or Light. So it's not really a big deal, but yeah, it's insane. It was funny though. I started watching a series called Black Lagoon recently, and for the longest time I was like, who is this voice actor? Why does he sound so familiar? It was Light's voice actor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'll hit you with a question now then. Will you be continuing the series?
Yep, absolutely. 100%.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna throw something at you.
All right.
That we did once before. So in 1 to 2 sentences, try to convince somebody that doesn't watch anime to watch Deathnote. I know it's tough.
I have an idea. All right. We're talking to the people. The people who listen to this. Into some nerdy stuff. Let's equate things. The greatest detective. Batman.
Yes.
So think of this in the setting of as if this were a toned down version where you have Batman going against the most cunning possible villain. Supernatural things going on, this constant game of chess going back and forth. You don't know who's going to come out on top. You don't know who's right. But as the viewer, you get so invested in the story, you almost become sided with the villain. You're just like, yeah, Batman's got to go down, man.
Oof, I like that. That's going to bring people in, man. That's great.
I don't know if that was 2 sentences, but man.
That works. I didn't know where you were going with that, but damn. Yeah. All right. Well, man, why don't you bring us into yours, since we're going to be talking about that a little more because it was an hour and a half compared to a half hour.
Yeah.
Like I do.
So it opened up as a, with the whole train robbery, very, very Western-y kind of vibe. I was very confused because...
Damn right you were.
Yeah, because, you had told me that the genre that you'd be giving me is sci-fi. And I was just like, it seems like a Western. But of course, as the show goes on, we learn more and more. We have a gang that's trying to do gang things, do bad things. We have our group of what would we call them?
Vigilante heroes?
Yeah, we could go with that.
Huh.
Yeah, we're introduced to, when the gang problem happens, the train robbery goes down, we get introduced to the idea that this Brisco County is out there. But he had died. Luckily for them, they have his son, Brisco County Jr., and he happens to be played by Bruce Campbell in a very young role. The show came out in 93, the year I was born.
Damn.
Yeah, and man, seeing him in this, I was like, man, is Bruce Campbell is the Ash character just Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, he really, he doesn't play anything else. That's just who he is.
It really seemed like it. But yeah, as the show goes on, we kind of get little hints here and there that there's something more going on. And I cannot remember if the device had a name.
Oh man, I don't know if it had a name, but it's weird as hell.
So it turns out that on the train was a device that had a bunch of rods. It kind of looked like a mine almost. Like it's a ball with a bunch of little rods sticking out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that if you take one of those rods, you become superhuman. And that was like, oh, okay, now the sci-fi's coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, we follow Brisco County Jr. just going through, trying to figure out who the gang is, what they're doing, who they're being controlled by. The usual Western kind of stuff. There's the, quick draw duels, a lot of hanging out in saloons, there's all that kind of stuff. But then the sci-fi stuff comes in, I'm like, so this is where we're going with that. And man, it was interesting for sure. It was a long episode again.
Yeah. It kind of drug out a little bit more than it should, which a lot of those shows back then did. But I picked that solely for the reason of I thought it was just a complete Western when I started watching it back when I was a kid, when it first came out on TV, and then it turned all weird, and I think that's one of the things that got me into sci-fi. And I was like, this is crazy. They just have this and this one little sci-fi thing going on here that just changes the entire vibe.
Yeah, that was the thing I was waiting for, because I was like, is something gonna happen? I was convinced that aliens were gonna invade or something was gonna happen. I was just like, okay, where's this going?
Yeah, bad guy, not so good as a bad guy in my opinion, but it's one of those cheesy shows that if you keep up with it, you start to like it a little bit more, get more invested in it after a few episodes.
Did this run like a full story thing, or did it get canceled?
It ran pretty much the entire story, yeah. There's definitely room for more, but it pretty much went through it.
That's good, at least then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you know, I when you had told me that it was Bruce Campbell's early role, I was like, a show that I'd never heard of with him. So I was like, I wonder if it got like canceled midway through or something. But
yeah, it did not go as long as it might have, but yeah, it's still had a pretty good, decent amount of episodes. 27 episodes, so not too bad. All right. Well, yeah, it is a very old show. It was very cheesy. It's got Bruce Campbell in it, which brought me in, and the sci-fi aspect of it. It's just one of those little gems if you like crappy old shows. Like, it's not an A-rated show. Definitely not. But still, it's one of those things that you don't really see. It's flown under the radar. And for the longest time, it wasn't even available. Like, every now and then it's on a streaming service for a little bit, but like you have to find it on some weird free sites in order to watch it, or find DVDs, and that's it.
yeah, I tried to see if I could just watch it, like if there was any app that had it or anything, so I could just watch it on my TV, because that's normally how, you know, I watch things. But no, not unless you're like paying for it. So I was just like, all right, well, I guess we'll just use this website that you'd give me.
Yeah. All right. Well, this might be a change in the trend here, and I don't blame you, but will you continue this?
Not gonna lie, I don't think I will. And one of the reasons primarily for that is because I don't typically watch things on my computer. So being that's my only option unless I like buy the series, that's probably a big deciding factor to go out of my way to go to that website to find the episodes.
Yeah, I get you. But to go from Evil Dead to this, Bruce Campbell is Bruce Campbell, man. He always is.
100%. It is literally the same character, just in a different setting.
Yep. All right. Well, what's your rating on this bad boy?
I would have to go probably maybe like D10, because like it had fun moments. It had Bruce Campbell being Bruce Campbell, but it felt like forever.
Yeah, they did drag on way too much, especially in that first episode, which a lot of pilots did. Yeah. But I'm going to do this in two ways. 9-year-old Andrew, D20. Today, Andrew, I'd probably go down with you at a D10. Like, the Bruce Campbell aspect of it always is going to raise it to a D20, but as a whole, D10.
There it is.
Yep. All right. Well, until next time we're late to the party, we will see you later.
See ya.